MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace.
Good morning.
Your shoulder is missing in the picture. Come on over here by me. There you are. We welcome everyone this morning. We've got some special guests we'll tell you about in just a moment. But boy, what a day yesterday of having former, and it just still sounds weird to say former police chief, but Chris Reed joined us. Have no fear, he's coming up after I talked to him yesterday. He'll be back a week from today. As the dust settles, we'll go back over more things that are going on in Meridian.
Right.
Now, lots of talk about the council meeting that is coming up on Tuesday in Meridian, Mississippi.
It is a lot of talk about it, you know.
Showing support. I know that a lot of people are going to support Chris and let the council members know they're out there. Now, I've also seen on social media, and I'm sure you've seen this by now, that the opposing folks that maybe don't like Chris as much are also going to be there to say that they don't want Chris. And it's hard to almost imagine anybody not liking Chris.
Well, I think it's good to show support, like we obviously said. But I mean, I was told yesterday that probably if it's not on the agenda to be talked about, it's probably not even going to be up for discussion.
Well, they don't recognize you,
right?
But it does show when they walk in and walk out that hey, this is what we want.
Yeah.
Whether it does any good, that's one of those things of where you just sometimes in life you got to go, hey, I believe in this and I'm willing to go stand around and be seen.
Yeah, and there is a petition going around that people are signing online.
How many folks have
right
signed
now, I just looked at it earlier this morning. It's probably a lot more because as you're watching it, the numbers climbing. So, but as of this morning, it was over 2,100 people.
I know I shared it yesterday, and again, I really don't know. At the end of the day, if the council would even reconsider Chris, I don't know. I would think that the mayor would have to talk to him. Now, I did send a message to the new elect mayor, Jimmy Smith, to come on and speak with us. I have not gotten a reply from Jimmy. I'd love to hear from Jimmy. You know, I'm not trying to put him on a spot, but just find out what his thoughts are between him and the council. So if you're watching Jimmy, anybody knows Jimmy, tell him he's more than welcome. Maybe he didn't get my text, but I'd love to have him. Come join us.
Because, I mean, I think the citizens of Meridian and even people who work in Meridian who don't live in the city, I mean, they just want clarification as to what's going on and why. So, you know, I think it's good if everybody's transparent about that.
Every county that joins us, whether you live in Cuba, Alabama, you live in Scuba, Mississippi, Philadelphia, you come to Meridian and shop. And while you're shopping, you want to feel safe. That is especially at Christmas. Lord have mercy. It's just, as Chris pointed out yesterday, things are quicker now. You know, used to it'd take 5 days to get the news. Nowadays, it's 20 seconds or it's live.
And I know it sounds like when we say things that are negative or whatever that's going on, that we're trying to run the city down. It's not that. It's not that. It's just that in the past, things didn't seem as safe. Things didn't seem like they were going in a positive direction. And then you get to go in a more positive direction and things are turning around and the crime is like becoming, you know, people are being arrested that need to be arrested. I mean, I don't know. You just see a difference.
Well, the difference
and it's the damper put on it when, you know, and everybody kind of, their spirits kind of just, it's like you've let the air out of the balloon, you know, when something like that happens.
Well, it's all about how you're made feel. And I'll give an example of it. You get up in the morning, you go to kiss your wife or your spouse, and they go, "You loser, get away from me." Or they lean over and go, "You sunshine, you hot hunk of..." It makes your day. Yeah. And if you don't approach life that way, it's going to be a damper. And that's kind of the way Meridian was for quite some time. And if y'all looked at the census numbers, I brought this up the other day, the population of the city is going down with each 10 years that they do it. Down 8,000 people again. They've moved to the county. Why? Taxes, other things, and potholes that swallow your car.
Yeah, and yesterday when we were talking to the former police chief, you know, there were several comments, and I reread last night, read over them just to make sure I didn't miss any. And one, there was a comment when I had said that people had been arrested and they're not liking that. Somebody said, "Who is she talking about?" They. Well, I want to clarify that. We had people who would comment on our show when we would have, say, the mug shot up there of people who had been arrested, negative comments.
Yeah, it's just
And
part
so
of it.
that's who I'm talking about. And if you'd like to know who that is, you can probably go back and look at it. But anyway, and then also when somebody had commented yesterday about we were kind of like glorifying Chris Reed, and since he's no longer there, it makes it sound like everything's just going to go south. Well, one person can make a difference, and I believe that's what happened. And then people followed along with that, and they worked together as a team in the police department. And I think it was making a difference. And so when you remove somebody that is a positive influence and a positive person, you feel like maybe things will turn in a different direction.
Yeah, it's all about having a positive attitude.
That's right. And you feel like they didn't get the backing of the city council. So that was our, that was the whole idea of the show yesterday when we were speaking about that. It wasn't like we were trying to glorify one person. Obviously, many people worked together to make it happen.
Oh, and there was 3 other folks that did not get their job back either. And from what I understand,
that's
they did a
exactly
great
right.
job also.
Yeah, that was the big talk yesterday at work. Everybody that came in the shop, they were really surprised that I think like maybe Tim Miller didn't get, placed back in. And there was a couple other people too. So, I just, I don't know. Everybody's just clueless as to what's going on. And I think that's just, people just want an answer. So
Well, if you've got a comment, we'd love to hear from you. You can post here. One of the few instances in life that you can watch television and also communicate with us live. And you can do that here on the right screen. If you're on Facebook, on YouTube, or Twitch, you can send us a message and we'll do our very best to answer that. Let's talk about weather just a second and what's expected today. Our guests who are going to be, let's pull this up here. Let me hit this button here. Right here, the Meridian Star is downtown Meridian, about right there. There's the post office. That's where Meridian Star sits. No rain there right now. Right down from the hospitals there. As we back out and take a look at all of this, let me turn these off so you can see a little bit better. As we look at the entire state, Meridian, pretty good there. Just above York, Alabama, some showers, and also at UWA this morning, some light stuff going across that pond. As we look across the whole state, southwestern Mississippi getting some showers down to Baton Rouge, not bad at all. But let's turn now and take a look at our 7-day forecast of what's going to happen over the next little bit. And I didn't hit that button, Candace. What was I thinking? Let me hit a button here and make that happen where it'll come up where everybody can see it. Now, here's our 7-day forecast right there. 91 today with a 60% chance of showers. So wet stuff in the forecast for us. And if I remember correctly, let me pull this up. Right after 3 o'clock is when the rain's going to come in. So you're good between now and about 3 if you got to do something. Get an umbrella in there, and it's going to be hot. Heat index of 97. Can you handle it?
No, well, I was out yesterday trying to wash my car. Me and my husband were out there.
I bet that was a
I thought I was going
sight.
to die from the humidity. I mean, it was so hot. It was awful.
Bad.
I'm ready for
70%
fall already.
chance tomorrow. Also, and look at this. As we get into Sunday, 80% chance of rain. Now, that should hold off to after you get. And again, I always stress this. If you hang around and talk a lot in the parking lot of the church, you're going to get wet.
Yeah.
But if you get in your car before 2, you're okay.
So Scotty Ray would be soaked.
That has happened to me once or twice in life. And we want to welcome, let's go over here and hit this button here and welcome our guests that are going to be joining us. We've got Michelle and Lisa from the Meridian Star. How y'all?
Good morning.
Now, Michelle, when's the last time you heard hi y'all? Do you hear that where you're from?
So in New Mexico, it's not a lot.
Not a lot?
Not a lot. In North Dakota, definitely not.
When Michelle and I first talked on the phone, I picked up right away that she was not from Zero, Mississippi. I don't know if y'all caught on to that.
What part of New Mexico?
So I was raised. I wasn't born there, but I was raised, and I lived there pretty much most of my life in Silver City, New Mexico.
Okay.
So it's the southwest corner of New Mexico. About 2.5, 3 hours from El Paso, about 2.5, 3 hours from Tucson. So.
Okay. My stepson lives in Clovis, New
Okay.
Mexico. So that's where we're going to be going after we leave Texas. That's what we had talked about, going to see him. So, and we take that trip. It's like 15 hours though. It's a long way to drive.
That is a long way out there. So that's coming. And in just a moment, we're going to get into the issue there of talking about the big show that is coming up that y'all got, the awards of voting, the Reader's Choice Award.
Yeah, voting is happening right now. It started on ends on August 2nd. It started on July 5th.
Now, any way that you can teach us how to maybe cheat a little bit to get ahead of everybody else? Let's get down to this.
Well, actually, I have a bone to pick because, I wasn't included in the Scotty Ray's name on the
hush, Debbie.
personality.
This is Debbie
I
Alexander.
feel left out. I'm serious. Like, really, what can I do about that?
You need to
Can I
let your
protest?
readers or your listeners know that next time
I'm just
you
picking.
must be included.
Put that name on there.
Really,
Yeah.
seriously though, I'm just picking. Seriously.
No, and I brought
Actually,
that
I'm
up.
not, but
Debbie came over. First time me and Debbie had sat down together in 10 years. She came over last week. And we sat down and talked. And she looked behind me, and there's one of them up there. It's above the picture there, but from like 2005. And me and her had this huge argument that Ron Harper had to work out about that because she wasn't nominated. I didn't do it. But Debbie was
Debbie,
still.
you and I need to talk. We need to talk. I think there's a conspiracy going on. But no, seriously, Scotty Ray does a jam up job at what he does.
Well, thank you.
He does a great job, and he works very hard at it, so he deserves a vote.
But anytime that you want to come over at 2 a.m. and do weather with me, the door is always open. I will let you come in.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously, have you ever thought about, because sometimes, it'll start out as just a little thunder thing. And the next thing you know, 3 hours is passed because it keeps going. You run out of breath after about 3 hours. And I'm sitting up here, give me some water.
Yeah.
And then everybody ignores me, but it's okay.
I'm ignoring you.
So coming up,
Not me.
we'll do more.
Yeah.
Right around the corner there, and we'll be joining them to talk about the awards and everybody that's on there. Well, let's talk about our friends at. Well, you can go out on Highway 494 to Freeman Tractor. Yep, you can go in and see Buttermilk today. He's got a lot of things going on there today to save you some money on a lawnmower. If you are looking for a zero turn to cut your grass time in half, that's where you go. Now, we're talking the number 2 lawnmower in America is Exmark. The number 1 is going to be the Skag lawnmower. You can put 16 gallons of gas in this, ride all day, and not have to stop and go up to your mother-in-law's if you got to mow her grass. That's how it works out. Tractors with cabin air conditioner. Look at this. Keep cool. Listen to the radio. Do whatever you want. You can even plug in your phone. Those little cords that I never
that'd be
figure out.
nice.
Yeah. I was on
I don't
Chinos.
know about plugging your phone in. We have drivers on the road that can't drive. I don't
I'm
need
talking
them in
about-
a tractor with their
I'm
phone.
talking about out in the bushes when you're out there bush hogging in the middle of
Okay.
nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that would work.
And I have never torn up a tractor doing that. I want you to know. I have bumped into a few things.
Goodness.
But also, if you need one with galvanized, and this is the new thing that's come to the tractor world. If you've got a piece of equipment, one of my bush hogs rusted out, the galvanized that you see sitting on the front of this tractor here, they do not rust. They will last and last and last. Bat wings, regular ones there. And let's get into the benches. If you're needing an ATV with air conditioner, they can order this for you. They've sold out of them that were on the lot, but they can order you one. The 550, the 750, all of this. Here, easy to find, 626. Go out and see Buttermilk. Get yourself some blades for your mower. Maybe you need some belts. They got all that for you. Freeman Tractor. See them today.
I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. Why do bikers hire us after their accident? Let's ask them.
I was on my way home and a car just rear-ended me. I called Richard Schwartz because I needed help with the medical bills. I feel like his team has done a great job in representing me and taking care of me. Don't hesitate to call Richard Schwartz. That one call, it will make a difference.
One call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we move into this Friday morning. Already 8:14 as we come on. And our special guest that we welcome back from the Meridian Star, Michelle Yelverton. Am I saying that right? Yelverton. Yelvert. I am so horrible with folks outside of Mississippi saying their name, and I apologize.
It's okay.
But old Lisa Webb over there, boy, I can say her name pretty good. And me and Lisa were talking a little bit ago. You've been married 8-9 years now?
Yes.
And do you snore? I had a text.
I do not.
Okay, making sure. But, have you ever, I had to do some traveling not long ago when I used to work for somebody else, and I had to share a room with them, and I didn't sleep none. You ever had to share a room with somebody? Have mercy. And
I've heard that people at the deer camp complain about other people.
and you want to
when
take
they
the
have-
pillow and
yeah.
get them?
Yeah.
But that's just one of the things.
Suck the paint off the walls type snoring.
Even, those hotel rooms that you stay in that have those paper thin walls that you
Yeah.
can hear 3 doors down, and you want to go beat on the door and say, do something.
Yeah.
So just thought I'd bring
I
that to
think they
light.
need a sleep
Now,
machine or something.
as I said, one of the biggest stories that is out there, the Talk of Meridian, is, the Reader's Choice Award. People really want to win this. And we pull up the web page here. Let me show this here. This is it. You go here and you click the link, and it will lead you right to the Meridian Star. And let's talk about categories, because y'all have got a bunch.
Yeah, there is a lot.
There's stuff I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, we've actually came down on the categories even compared to last year.
Really?
I think we started off with 230 categories.
Wow.
Now we're at about 164. So,
That's a heap.
oh yeah.
So what is the, and I guess you could say this, and I'll just ask you on the spot. If you can't answer it, you can't answer it. What is the one that gets more attention than any other? What is the number one voted thing? What did the go for?
I think definitely Men and Women of the Year are probably our top one.
Now,
Total in votes so far, we have over 2,000 votes in those two categories.
that's great.
Goodness, that is good.
Now, I know Chris is up for that, and also the gentleman that runs the animal shelter is up for that. And what's his name? I'm
Rocky.
Rocky.
Yeah.
I have heard nothing but good things about Rocky, that everybody likes him. He got a brand new building out in Marion.
Oh, yeah.
And thank goodness for the animal shelter because, you know, all these animals, and they take, you know, such good care of the animals and try to get them adopted out to good families and stuff like that. So we commend you for that. Thank you.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, it's excitement. People really, do y'all still give out plaques and that thing, or is it the
We
big
do.
thing?
So we give out plaques and banners. We have packages that the winners can purchase, and it comes with a plaque, a banner, and an ad in our special edition.
Right.
So we have our commemorative edition of the Reader's Choice. And
Okay.
Yeah, we're excited about that product because this year it's changing. It's
Yeah.
not going to be the traditional newsprint. It's going to be more like a high gloss magazine.
Wow.
Yeah, and every winner, whether you participate in like purchasing an ad,
Right.
will also get a window decal this year that they can display saying that they were a winner in their category.
That's neat.
You know, I hadn't heard of any fights yet that broke out from this between businesses, but it's pretty cutthroat to with this because you do want the is it the bragging rights?
The
Is that
recognition.
It is.
yeah, definitely.
And the competition is really high between certain categories because they really want the majority of the people to use their business. And
Yes.
so this is a big deal. And the more people they can get to recognize them, you know, the better. It's free advertising in a way.
Right.
You know.
I saw where the eye clinic has been nominated and you know, and my daughter works there. So, you know,
and let me see here. Here's some of the categories. You've got food, entertainment, lifestyle, health, good services. And let me pull this up where everybody else can see what we're looking at here in front of us here. These are the different categories after you go there. Special awards, that's where you'll find Man of the Year and those Woman of the Year, the retail. And, you know, I got real confused as I got in there because I was going to vote for San Marcos and they wasn't listed in the Asian food. That's where is it?
in Asian food.
Well, he was in every other category nominated. And I thought, well, Chino's made it here too. But he wasn't.
You're so silly.
But it is. You know, you get a favorite place, and you do want those. Whether it's your dentist,
Right.
that they're not my favorite people, but you know, I have to go visit them.
Mine either. So
But
thank goodness for them. But you know,
y'all even got like favorite. Give me some examples because I know like even Car Salesman is listed in this, isn't it?
So we have
Yes.
favorite car salesman,
Pet groomer.
pet
right,
groomer,
receptionist. That was in there.
receptionist,
Huh?
Yep, best
Yeah.
boss.
Uh-huh.
So everybody's favorite boss.
Well, it ain't but us two, and she didn't nominate me.
Look, I don't even want to hear it. You've had your share of nominations. Thank you very much.
But the categories, everything really that you could think of from professional, business, dining, sweets, dessert,
Yeah.
ice cream, you name it. It's on there pretty much.
Yeah.
Hairdresser,
Yeah.
nail salon. We tried to make sure that we at least gave a category that everybody could participate.
Yeah.
I even saw Tommy Miller up for funeral, and I thought, boy,
Funeral
he ain't getting much repeat business votes on that. But
But the families love him.
that's
they
right.
do.
And if you don't know Tommy, he a great guy. And there's a lot of folks during those times that you never forget.
Right.
And there's several to choose from on that category. So
You know, the process this year was done a little different.
Yes.
We had a nomination period where people were allowed to nominate who they wanted in these categories. And then we selected the top 5 and put those names on the ballot.
Yep.
In all the years past, we've let people just
Right
vote.
then.
Right.
And there might be 25, 35, 40 people
Right.
on that ballot. And it just became
Nightmare?
almost too big of a challenge to even
Kind
count
of
them all
It kind of became overwhelming,
Right.
not only
Bet.
for us but for the readers.
as well.
Yeah.
So being able to narrow them, I think, has helped tremendously
Oh,
for
yeah.
people to say, these are the ones we really want in that top 5.
Right.
But I even remember when I was in high school, and God rest her, Miss Nell Taylor. I worked for her out at Taylor's Pack-a-Sack. And, people that would come in every day, back in the day, smoking was a lot more popular in this day. But you have somebody that has your smokes laying on the counter, or that they want a Coke, you have it waiting on the counter when you see them getting out of the car. They remember that. And they want you to be recognized.
Oh, absolutely.
That little extra that people, like a waiter that knows your drink or knows what you're going to order, where you don't have to give them what you want. They just bring it to you. They want to be recognized.
Absolutely.
So there's, through the years, I was thinking about this as we talked. Back in the day, I brought up the promotion that we done with y'all when me and Debbie were in radio with Santa Claus. We raised money for kids, and we went up on that edge of that 3-foot bit. And back then, the elevator was broke, and I was a big sissy. I'm not gonna lie. It came up on that 15th floor, whatever that penthouse is, and it wouldn't go all the way up, and you had to carry a stool and climb out to get out of the elevator to that floor. And I constantly have little nightmares about waking up, climbing out and that thing falling.
Yes.
So I ain't going with y'all when they get that open. I don't care if they do have a new elevator.
Silly. I don't know if bank teller, was that one of the ones? It probably wasn't.
No.
That should have been though, because when you drive up to the bank, that would be a good one. I think that would be a good inclusion.
Yeah.
Because Miss Shirley at the Citizens National Bank over there is the best bank teller in the world. I'm telling you.
You trying to get
She's
extra
so
sucker out of
sweet.
her? One of them dum-dums?
Go through as often as I used to, because I still have an account there, but I have an account somewhere else too. But Miss Shirley over there is so sweet. I'm telling you, she remembers your name. She remembers your kids' names. I mean, and stuff like that does matter. I mean, it really does. So, and she asks about my kids when they're not even in. I mean, just sweet.
So
Super
now we know
sweet.
how to get to Candace, whatever you want.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
So how long have we got to vote on this? How long does it go? And then how long does it take to tabulate? Because I'm sure used to it be a lot worse than it is now.
Yeah. So we're going to be running through August 2nd, and everything's online, so it automatically tabulates for us. We do have them running in the paper, just the ballot in the paper every Saturday. So those ones we tabulate as they come in.
So you can still bring a paper ballot if you
yes,
want to?
You still can get a paper ballot.
How many can you give in a week? Asking for a friend.
You actually it can only be on the Meridian Star.
Yeah.
Right.
So that it has to be one of our printed ballots.
Yeah, I
But
can't make
if you
my own.
wanna buy, no, sir, you
Bundle.
can't make your own. But if you want to buy a bundle of papers and pass them out to all your friends, we're
We'll
good with
take
that.
I like elections like this.
And once we have completed, we will take about 6 weeks actually to be able to approach the winners, let them know, to ask them if they want to do an ad in the new magazine that will be coming out, so if that takes a little bit. So we will be actually announcing by the distribution of that product on September 18th.
That's not all that far off.
No.
It's not.
Yeah, that'll be here.
Now we see how Scotty Ray operates. So if he ever becomes the mayor of Bailey, you know how he got it.
Look, Leon Bailey may have passed away, but he is
Yes.
still mayor of this area. If y'all
That's
knew
exactly
Leon,
right. We used to live right next to him, and I used to go over to their house, Miss Prue. his
Yes.
wife. I used to go over there all the time, and she probably got sick of me coming over there as a kid. But anyway, they were the best neighbors and the best people, in the world. And she's
Oh, it
so
wasn't but
sweet.
about,
Southern lady. She is a Southern belle for sure.
3-4 years ago, I was at somebody's house. Y'all know the subdivision country place? I was in the yard and they were planting flowers, and here comes this Lincoln across the terraces. Here comes Leon, and out on the road he goes. He didn't use highways, but
Sweet.
and you can't bring up Leon Bailey without bringing up Charlie C. I mean, Charlie C.
right.
is such a great guy. So,
Yes. He's throughout the years always been there.
what have we forgotten to bring up that y'all wanted to point out about? And we really do appreciate y'all coming out and spending a little time with us
Yes,
to
we do.
talk about this.
I think we've covered most of it. This year is our first year to basically be completely digital with the exception of those paper ballots. So it was a big transition for us, but we've seen, I think, more interaction that way than we did with just the paper ballots. So it's been very exciting. We're excited. It's my first year here, so.
Oh, is it?
Yes, yeah. So I'm very
And I got
excited.
how'd you end up in Meridian, Mississippi? What's going on? Because normally somebody from out west just doesn't pop into Meridian. I'm just curious.
Well, I actually came for the Meridian Star.
Oh, did you?
Yep. Yeah. So I worked for a newspaper up north in North Dakota. It was just time.
Hey, come on, say it for me one
It was
time.
just, I actually moved from North Dakota to Montana, and I was commuting a lot.
Yeah.
It was just not for me anymore. I wasn't a big fan of the town in Montana, so I was like, let's see what the options are.
Well, you can get anywhere you want in Meridian within 10 minutes. That's the
Oh,
great,
yeah,
except
exactly.
for those one-way streets that. Why on earth did a town our size ever go one way? Let's just really.
Yeah,
Everybody's
I
been wanting to say that
know,
for 10
I know.
years.
It is
beyond
not
things.
aggravated to have to go all the way back around the block.
Like if you want to go down to Western Sizzler or IHOP, it's just too bad. It's a 20-minute loop.
I remember when the streets first went one way, and you
Bunch of
had
wrecks.
you had a lot too of people who were not used to that were going the wrong
Confused.
direction. I mean, it was scary, but so since you've been here though, have you picked up any Southern draw at all, like a little bit?
I'm gonna say
I
no.
don't think so. I'm like, Lisa
if you
lives
need
there
any
every day.
lessons, I'm probably your girl because I'm just as country as they come.
You know, and my husband was born in Jackson, grew up in Shreveport, Bossier, and he also does not have an accent anymore.
Really?
He lost his accent. I don't, it comes out when he talks to his grandma,
Uh-huh.
but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
You know, when I was speaking with her, my only dealings with North Dakota was that TV show Fargo. That first, and it's yeah. Is that really the way they talk there? But that's my only. I've never been there.
I think it just depends on how far north you go. One popular phrase in North Dakota is "ufta," like, I hit my shin. Ufta,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they say an ugly word for that in the South that we can't say here.
Yeah. They probably got 2 or 3 ugly words for it. But.
And y'all probably, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that y'all need to probably come up with a category of the most southerner, the most southernest in the town.
Yeah.
Get nominations for that because we got some old boys that are, and some gals.
Yeah.
Again, we want to say thank you both for coming.
Thank
Lisa,
you.
Michelle,
Yeah, we appreciate y'all coming.
it's been an honor and fun talking with y'all.
Oh, yeah.
You too. We
It's
just
been-
want to encourage you to vote.
Right.
Yeah.
Get out there and,
Vote,
well, you don't have to get out there. You
don't
can
have
just pick your
that's
phone up.
exactly
Yeah,
right. And
exactly.
vote.
It's
You
easy.
can vote from, it's like once a week, but we'll give you a little inside scoop. If you'd like, you can probably vote from different email addresses if you have more than one.
Oh,
Right.
I
So
didn't think
there-
about
there
that.
Your vote counts more than once. So
You've given him ammunition.
I got to go vote for myself, y'all.
there you go. Vote for yourself. Absolutely.
Absolutely vote for
And anybody that says they hadn't is probably telling a big old field.
Well, I should have nominated myself. then.
Why didn't you?
Up against Scotty Ray. I'm just thinking I wouldn't have won. But no, seriously though, vote for Scotty Ray.
It's just fun to be a part of it. At the end of the day, it
Right,
truly
it is.
was.
It is.
All right, we will catch up with y'all once again, and thank y'all for coming back. And as this gets ready to be announced, we want y'all to come back so we can talk. We can even do it after it's announced. Bring y'all out. We'll go over the winners there. And
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Thank
so
you.
thank y'all. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Again, the Meridian Star joining us this morning as we talked about all the great things that are going on there with the Reader's Choice Awards. Make sure to vote. Find a computer today. Do that, and they'll be glad to have you a part of that. Let's see, some things that are shaking in the world today that we mentioned that I wanted to bring up. I brought this up a little bit ago about the baby that was found in Pascagoula. 1982, she was 2 years old, and they found a baby in the waters. And a cop was a part of it. He was a deputy at the time down in Pascagoula. And he was so compelled by it that he paid for the child's funeral. And they didn't know who she was, and they just named her Baby Jane. And in the last week, DNA has come up with who she was, and he's gone back. He's retired now and a little bit older, and he's paid for a new headstone for her with her real name on it. It touched my heart.
Yeah, that's a sweet thing for him to do. But I wonder did somebody were they missing the child? Did they purposely put the child in the water since they know her name now? Or
I don't know how she died. I'll be honest on that. I just know that they found it. Nobody ever claimed the child.
Awful.
And now since she's been identified, I don't know what will happen.
Yeah.
We'll have to dig deeper into it. And I
That's
probably
very sweet of him to do that, though.
Yeah.
We need more people like that in the world.
It's a touching story. I ran into a gentleman yesterday, and I say this because it doesn't help to be nice. I was going down the road, and I saw this gentleman in the ditch. And he was probably, I don't know, in his 70s maybe. And he's having a rough time. He had lost his mattress. And
Goodness.
I went
He's
up
probably ill as a hornet. That's the phrase in the South.
So I turned around and I went back and I helped him get the mattress in his truck. And he goes, "It's all my grandson's fault." I said, "What'd you He goes, "He bought a dang deer camp and got me to deliver this." And he said, "I made it from Brandon, Mississippi to right here and I've lost it." And he was... You ever tried to load a mattress by yourself? It's bad.
No,
It's bad because no matter how you do your shoulder, it won't fit right. So he got back on the road and he was fine after that. But I brought that up to just be kind to people because it could be you on the side of the road trying to pick something up. Nobody stop and help you.
That's right.
Now, if they look like they got a meth lab, don't stop.
That's right. But, I have a little sign in my house that says, "Be the change that you want to see in the world."
That's a
Be that change.
good slogan.
That's right. Help other people.
So that is the way to do that as you go down life's journey here. Let me see here what else we had going. I wanted to talk about, as we get into, let me pull this up so we can talk about it. And y'all have heard me talk about our friends out at the Precast Group. Not only do they take care of your tornado shelters, but this is a prime example. If you've got cattle and you're tired of every 3 to 4 years having a rebuild where you feed your cattle, they make this out of concrete.
It'll last.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Forever. They make cattle gaps. Now, if you look at picnic tables, how many of you had rot in your backyard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they make them out of concrete. And nobody's going to pull up and steal it either.
That's right.
Because they
Not by
weigh a little
themselves.
bit. But as we get into looking at all the different things the Precast Group comes, when it's bad weather, you need a place to go to. And this is a perfect picture here of where to go to. This is a storm shelter. It's safe inside. You can design it any way you want, how the seating goes about. You can add whatever you want in there. They can even put these, if you're building your home in there, as a closet. Now, if you've already got your house built, don't worry. They still deliver it and bolt it down outside. This is the kind that's above ground. This goes in the ground here. You can build it halfway or all the way into that shelter there inside of the hill there to where, well, it's perfect. Run to it no time. Air vents, whole 9 yards there. See them, the Precast Group, good Christian folks. I go to church with them. They're good people. They'll bend over backwards to help you. 482-0003. If they give you your word, they stand by it. See them, the Precast Group right here in Meridian. They'll help you with anything you need.
One call at a time. When you need help, call Richard Schwartz. One call at a time.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. As I brought this up at 6:30 this morning. If you ever see something in a mirror, if you go into a bathroom and there's a strange note, always call the cops on this.
Right.
This happened in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A lady who was being held captive got to go to the bathroom. She left a note that said, "Please help me," and she put her address. Well, the cops knocked on the door, and they didn't have a search warrant. They didn't have any reason.
Right.
So they leave. Another month goes by. She gets to go to another public restroom, and she leaves another note, more detailed. This time, the employees call the cops. They did get a search warrant because they had been there before and saved her. She'd been raped. She'd been held captive for 2 months there.
And
Horrible.
this is the guy.
Yeah, this is the picture of the old boy. And this comes, let me see here. Let me show his picture. JTV out of Jackson showed that. And here's a picture of him. There's bad people in this world.
Yes.
And there's a lot. And, I've even heard of people going down the interstate that hold up a sign out of the back of a car.
I always get this eerie feeling, and I guess it's because so much of this, like, human trafficking and sex trafficking and stuff like that goes on now. I just get an eerie feeling when I see, like, a van that doesn't have any, like a big white van that doesn't have any kind of markings on it, like that would say that it's a business or something.
Yeah.
It just the windows are blacked out if there's any windows. That just makes me nervous.
It should.
It makes me wonder what's going on. Is there something that's possibly could be going on. And I don't know how you would, I mean, other than if somebody did kind of give you a
Right.
little, heads up. But if you ever see anything though like this with a note or like, you know, anything like that, turn it in. I mean, seriously.
Absolutely.
That's scary.
Ray Strebeck put up a note that he was at Walmart in Newton last night, and somebody brought him and his wife an ice cream. Didn't tell him who they were, but he just wanted to say thank you. Didn't get a name, but that's a good deed there.
That is a good deed.
Let's see. Jana wants to know where you work at.
I work in North Hills at Walla Salon.
Yeah, y'all spell that. Let's see. Let's see here. Good morning from Austin, Texas. Sue Thrash watching us from there. Let's go through some good mornings. So we didn't get around to all of those.
Yes. Miss Gail Gafford, good morning. And Jeremy Barnacastle, good morning to you.
Also, Linda Culpepper joining us, along with Bill Reinhardt, and Galen Bradshaw joins us today.
Stephen Wanda McKinnon said good morning, y'all. And Terry Carter, good morning to everyone. Roy T. Ellis, he says he's watching this morning.
T-Roy, take care. Yeah, Denise Burnside joins us all the way. Let's see here. Fanny Stovall is with us, and also Jan Gunn from the Meridian Orthopedic.
No,
Is that how you say it?
ophthalmic eyes. Ophthalmic.
There's a reason I didn't say that.
Ophthalmic Associates.
Wow, I can't say that word.
Like an ophthalmologist.
Have y'all ever thought about calling it the Meridian Eyeglass Joint? I don't know where to. That's a big word for me.
It is. Lori Moore says she's got another big kart race over in Lena at Square County Speedway tomorrow, and she needs the rain to hold off.
It ain't
Need
happening.
to rain.
It's gonna happen, Lori. You just hang on in there.
Goodness.
Let's see here. Brian McCary, good morning to you. Also, Joyce Godwin and Denise Burnside joins us this morning also.
Let's see. Larry Smith says good morning from Philadelphia, and Carl Merchant says that we're doing a great job, and thank you for what we do, and we thank you for watching, and thank you for the compliment.
I ain't bumped into Carl in years. I don't know what he's doing. Probably at the Neshoba County Fair getting ready.
Yeah.
Larry Smith joins us from Philadelphia. Also, Ed Meyerhoff. Good morning to you. Glad you're with us there. Also, Connie Shockley is with us as well.
Teresa LaBeiche, good morning to you. And Linda Jane Lunsford says good morning from Giles. Is that Alabama?
No, it's Mississippi.
Is it Mississippi? Okay.
About 2 miles from the Alabama line.
Okay.
So she's got a little bit. No, she's all Mississippi. Denise Burnside is here. She said that Lisa was looking good. Also, Peggy Nowell joins us here.
She said she used to live in Clovis 3.5 years during Air Force time. Okay, at the Cannon Air Force Base. And my stepson, he was in the military. He had just gotten out of the military, but that's the base I think that he worked at. It's like a special forces base.
Yeah. Also, Wayne Roberts joins us from Mobile.
Good
Glad to have
morning.
you in there.
Good
From Hickory, we've got Ray Strebeck.
Did you say Sue Thrash?
Yeah, I mentioned her
You
from
mentioned
Austin,
her?
Texas.
Okay. I must have been running my mouth. I'm sorry.
That was earlier.
Okay. Oh, okay. Bonnie Etheridge. Good morning, Scotty Ray, she says. And LaWanda Grantham, the mother is still missing of the little girl.
Oh.
Okay.
Sad.
Goodness.
I said they were from Missouri is where the little girl was from that we talked about earlier this morning. There.
That's awful.
It
That's
is.
awful. Let's see. Donna Luke is watching this morning, and Chris Gully says good morning.
Along with Barbara Vick, Bill Reinhardt, Miss Ray Gafford up in Cherry Point, North Carolina today.
Good morning to Alicia Fisher, and Debbie Mold says good morning from Rose Hill, Mississippi.
Salute. We appreciate y'all joining us. I was going over a few things that went on this day, and this guy, I remember him well from a kid. Who remembers Orville Redenbacher?
I do.
It's his birthday. He was born in 1907. He passed away back in 95. And I was somewhere yesterday and saw some popcorn on a shelf and saw that.
Really?
Out of the pig. And you don't think about Orville much anymore. They used to do
know.
that big promotion with him. And it's kind of, and here's a guy that probably a lot of people would like to whoop now. It was invented on this date. Who doesn't like these?
Oh, goodness.
The parking meter.
Look, when I used to work downtown, I worked actually at LaBeiche Jewelers, and I would have to go and move my car sometimes. Of course,
Yeah.
Miss LaBeiche would probably be fussing right now saying, I paid for you a parking spot behind the Boy Scouts.
But you didn't show up on time.
Well,
and didn't
no,
get yours.
no. It was just a good ways to walk. So sometimes I would just park around the corner. Anyway, they come by marking your tires.
Yeah,
You know,
every 2 hours.
marking your tires. Yeah, I got a couple of parking tickets. But.
1935 in Oklahoma City. I had no idea was the first
Mm-hmm.
folks that got the parking meter. What is it? Is it a quarter still, or is it higher now to park?
I don't even know. I mean, do we still have those in
Oh,
Meridian?
yeah, they're
we
there.
have parking meters in Meridian?
Well,
I don't know.
let me back up. I don't know.
I don't know. I just know there's signs that say, 2 hour, 30 minute or whatever. And if you're beyond that, they're going to mark your tire and give you a ticket.
I remember the little lady in Meridian, Mississippi that used to do it. She looked tough, too. She walked around with that chalk.
Yeah.
But I hadn't paid attention. I drive the streets all the time, and I just never look.
Yeah, she means business when she goes by marking that tire.
And it may just go over the timeline of the color of the chalk now if you've been there more than your 2 hours.
I
I'll
guess
find
so.
out on that. 1969 on this date, the number one song in America was, no surprise, Running Bear. You remember that?
No, I do not.
Love a Little White Dove. Running Bear.
I don't.
It was a great song. I can't believe you. Sonny James was the guy that had that number one song. Great country artist. I'm going to have to work on that. You should remember 1977. This was probably more your speed in 77.
To do run, run, run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sean Cassidy. And I thought we'd put a picture of what Sean looks like now compared to the years of the heartthrob that he was. Which looks
He's
better?
not bad looking now, though.
So you think he's okay as a dude?
Yeah, I mean, he's not bad looking.
Okay. Well,
But I do remember back in the day when he was
it was,
had the long hair.
what was it? The Hardy Boys. Did you watch that show? Him and Parker Stevens used to have that show. I remember watching that. I don't know if it was Saturday night or what, but that used to be a big old show.
Yeah, I didn't like long hair even back then.
Really?
though, even though that was the style, I don't know. I think short hair's always been a
Most old
classic.
boys had it
I know they did.
back in the day. I don't think I've ever seen Burt Reynolds with it back in the 70s or Jerry Reed, but there was a.
That clean cut, short haired look has just always been classic for me.
There you go. 1982 in theaters on this day, and it's still a good show and has a lot of heart to it. If you get a chance to see a rerun of this, Kenny Rogers was in theaters today with that six-pack movie. It was released. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
And of course, at the end of the movie, he ends up adopting all 6 of the kids that needed a home.
Yeah.
Brewster Baker was his name as he hit the race. Love Will Turn You Around, I think, was one of the songs from that, if y'all remember that. Kenny was not a bad actor.
No, he really wasn't. And he was nice looking back in the day, even though his hair was a little bit longer, but not long.
See, I wouldn't have thought Kenny's would be considered long, but
Not long, but it was longer, a little bit longer, but yeah.
she's referring to that group of long-haired men as the y'all group. They.
Yeah, let me not say they.
Oh,
For goodness.
1984. What was the number one song in America? Well, it was Alabama. And if you're going to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band. Most folks know that song there, but big hit for them. Alabama, it just really doesn't seem that they've been around that long.
It doesn't.
And of course, the drummer is no longer with them.
What happened there?
They had a tour, and this is the best I remember, and they were paid in advance. And then the tour got canceled, and everybody else returned the money. And he said, no, y'all paid me. I ain't giving it back.
He probably spent his money.
That may have happened.
Yeah.
And it was a disagreement, and he disappeared.
It was history then.
But I bumped into Mark Hernd. I bumped into him several times since then. Still nice, but they just couldn't play house anymore.
Right. Bad blood then.
It does happen.
Yeah.
And if you're from the deep South, and if you're watching us from somewhere else today that's further from the South, you've really missed out on life if you've never been to this place. It was 1986 that Dollywood opened the doors for you to come to Tennessee. That is such a great place to go.
I've never been there. I haven't, because when I had gone up through there,
Yeah.
maybe they were closed down one time and we didn't get to go, or I can't remember what the reason was. It was something though that we didn't get to go. But I would love to go.
They have all of the shows, the dancing, the musicals. It's fun. And it used to be named the Dixie
I was
Stampede.
just fixing to say, the name of that has
Yeah.
changed.
I don't even know what
It's
the name
the
is.
Dolly Isn't it the Dolly Stampede now? I think, yeah.
But political correctness had to change the name. And I always enjoyed it because it was the North against the South when you ate, and you had to eat with your hands, and you'd hold up your flag and wave it.
Yeah.
And I hate that happened, is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That was just a a great fun experience there. And they may have gotten rid of the. I remember Madison taking her pictures with the Southern Bells out front.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's still there or not. As we move to 1990, this was probably a game changer for an old boy from Oklahoma that made it, and he had the #1 song called "The Dance."
That was a good song. It is a very good song to this day when you listen to it, you know.
It did describe those that lost their lives, and then you remember "Unanswered Prayers."
Yes, that was a good song.
Yeah,
too.
he's still thankful he married that old girl in that song. It's like, whoo, Lord. And that does happen a lot. Of somebody you thought you really were head over heels with, and you bump into them and say, I'm glad they got you.
Well, your perspective changes on so many different things, and the things that you thought when you were 17 was like really a big deal.
Yeah.
You look back at 30 and go, that's like not even anything.
Yeah.
You know, like I got some major issues
Now,
that don't even compare to that back then, you know.
if I had a picture right now, and the only person I know that's got this picture is Debbie Alexander. Ron Harper just made a comment that said, I guess that falls into those long-haired guys.
He falls into the long hair guy.
I saw a picture that floated around of Ron Harper back in the early 70s where he had long hair.
Really?
And I would have never known it was Ron Harper. I was like, dude, what? Harriet totes it
Well, his
daily,
hair's
I
not
think.
long now.
No, he's short now, but he used to have some. He was like Mr. It in the 70s there with the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Rod? Share a
If
picture
I'd have
with me.
probably been like, I don't know, when you showed that while ago, it was like 1977. I was like 3 in 77. So, I mean, when I was younger though, I remember my brother even had, it wasn't long hair, but he had the long kind of winged back,
Yeah.
hair and stuff.
What do they call it? Feathered? The feathered hair?
The feathered look, yes.
The best looking hair of the 70s, and let's all just
If you
quit
use
beating
your
around the
fixing
bush. Farrah Fawcett.
Oh, I thought you were fixing to say a mullet. I was going to go, oh my gosh. Do you know that the mullet has made a comeback?
Really?
Some teenage boys nowadays are wanting their hair to grow or like be cut into a mullet. I don't understand it.
Wow.
I thought that and like the big, huge bell bottom pants would never come back around, but it's back.
Bell bottoms.
Yeah.
I ain't never liked them.
Yeah. I don't look good in bell bottoms because I'm short. I just look like I'm sweeping the floor.
Look, Casper.
Tall girls or tall people, they look good in bell bottoms. But
Gail Williams made a comment, and I had forgotten about this. Dollywood, before that, was called Silver Dollar City. I remember being on vacation and seeing the signs for Silver Dollar City, and I thought it was like a mining thing where you go. But that turned into Dollywood after she bought it out.
Debbie has the picture, she says.
Oh, do you, Debbie?
You need to
Share
send that to Scotty
inbox
Ray.
it, and we'll share that picture of Mr. Harper here.
Yes, Ron. We would love to do that.
Because I don't want to embarrass Ron or anything, but hey, it was your hair. So Facebooked at me, and I'll show that picture. I bet Ron's trying to call Debbie right now going, don't you do that. Don't you do that. Let's see some other things that are going on today. Let me go back. Do you remember this, waking up that day and hearing about a plane missing?
Oh, gosh, yes. I remember that. That was awful.
The sexiest man alive went away on this day. A plane crash that he was piloting crashed.
That was such a just a shocker, when that happened. And then them trying to retrieve the plane and all that, and then finding out that because Clinton was in office then, wasn't he? Was Clinton?
90. Well, no, that was George. Wasn't that the first George? George Sr.?
I could have swore Clinton was in office.
I think that was later.
I don't know. Because I just remember he was, didn't they like have him cremated like right off?
Yeah, I don't know all
There
that.
was a lot of controversy about some of that stuff happening, which is kind of odd. But yeah, I remember that was a shocker when that happened. And
Let's see, who was president and not George W. Bush? I was
Okay.
right. Yeah,
okay, I don't know why I thought Clinton.
yeah, he had not made it to office at that point. But JFK, who most likely would have run for president, I think it's safe to say he would have followed in his father's footsteps. It was like the Camelot. You're supposed to do that.
Yes.
And he never made it. He hadn't been married long either when that happened.
I think the reason maybe that comes to mind is because the Clinton thing, because I think there was some controversy over maybe Hillary Clinton was going to be running for president.
Missed all that one.
I don't know. I probably don't even know enough to say about that, but
Just
you had
whenever
to look it up.
Whenever Hillary's name is mentioned, I run.
Yeah.
1995 on this date, guess what happened? It really changed the way you shop in America forever. Amazon opened up, and you could start ordering anything that you wanted offline.
I didn't realize it was in 95.
Yeah, you would think it was a little further than that, but the internet had just been discovered not long before that, and they jumped on it early.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they've come a long way now. Everybody's
the richest man in the world that owns
yes.
that now.
Goodness.
Now, he's kind of flamboyant. I've seen some pictures that I think he got a divorce too.
Really?
Yeah, I think that cost him a pretty penny. 2012, do you remember the song? It wasn't God who made Honky Tonk Angels? No.
Scotty Ray, don't ask me about songs.
Do you know Kitty Wells?
I've heard of Kitty Wells, and I'm sure I've heard her sing.
It wasn't God who made Honky Tonk Angels. And of course, it was an answer to a song about being in the nightlife and Honky Tonk Angels. And she come back with this. She was almost to the point of getting out of music at that point. And I think she only made like $2 or so when she recorded that song. And it became a hit and changed her life forever. And she passed away on this date back in 2012. Kitty Wells, one of the greats of country music back in the day. Just one of those. I always liked that song. I always had to stop and listen to it whenever I run up on it.
It's another one I have to pull up and listen to.
Girl, you're going to be busy for like your entire vacation trip listening to stuff.
I'm going to come up with some stuff that you don't know.
Oh, there's a lot that I don't know. Like when you get into
We'll make a list.
Gymnastics,
Stuff that Scotty Ray would never
rapping.
watch.
I know very little about rapping.
Well, don't worry. I don't know anything about that either.
But boy, the headlines the last few days about rappers, it's been one shot right after another. The guy getting out of jail, of course, I don't know who he was, but he was shot walking out the jail. And then another one in L.A. was shot.
The one that was shot 64 times.
Yeah.
That one yeah.
And it's always some type of, I guess they live a different lifestyle of the place, the venues that they play. I guess could lead to all of that.
Yeah.
But
I just never, my kids, they kind of got into listening to rap and stuff, but they never listened to it in my car. Like with me, I would be like, I ain't listening to that.
and I don't know this guy. I just know they made a movie about it. And I couldn't name one thing he's done, but the 8 Mile movie that is it Enema or is it Eminem? Is it Enema or?
No, it's not Enema. Scotty Ray.
What is it?
That's another whole story.
Surgical procedure, maybe.
Eminem
But it looks like if you glance at it, it looks like Enema. Because every time I see that name, I think, who is Enema and who would listen to that? But I guess I've mispronounced that. I'm sorry. If I offended anybody that really likes him, I am so sorry.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
Bill said that Kitty Wells was on Marty Stewart's show right before she passed away. And Clinton was there in 1998 is when he went into office, is what Debbie Mole said. Thank you for telling us the exact year on that.
Yes.
And Ron does not want his picture shown. It looks like, I do not want to show my picture. Everybody in Meridian wants to see it now, Ron.
He said, I don't think so.
Let's see some other news stories that are happening today. As I also mentioned that end of watch ended for an officer in the United States. No matter where you're watching this from, it's heartbreaking when we lose a police officer from the line of duty. It was a guy that had barricaded himself in a home. The SWAT team showed up, and this was just west of Lubbock, Texas yesterday. And the sergeant lost his life during the shoot-off there was Josh Bartlett. He was shot and died a little bit after being shot. So our condolences to another officer's family across the United States.
Yes.
Heart-touching
Just like
there.
we said yesterday, I mean, these families kiss their loved ones goodbye to send them off to work, and you just never know.
You don't.
It's a scary thing, I would imagine.
Other news this morning is Los Angeles, California are going back under a mask mandate. If you, even in buildings where you work, are going to be required to wear this.
Well, it's real, it's got everybody up in the air because they said even if you've had your vaccines, you've been vaccinated, they want you to still wear your mask. So that's got a lot of people hot under the collar because they're like, well, why? So why do you want us to wear our mask if we've been vaccinated? So
That's a hot topic with that right there. Now, I'm also hearing, and I don't know much about it, just in conversation. I have no data to back this up, but nurses and people that I bump into are saying they're starting to see more cases of COVID come back now, even in the state of Mississippi. And this variant, is that what they're calling it?
The from India, that variant that everybody's been talking about.
Now, there's no tie-in between that and listening to enema and that at the same time of this causing a problem.
That's right.
Just say it.
Oh, Lord.
Let's talk about our friends. Let's go to Center Hill and talk about one of the good guys, and that's Chet's Paint and Body. If you own a vehicle, you get a scratch, you get a dent, it's messed up and it needs to go back to normal, talk to Chet. That's what they do out there. They take care of you. They process all of the insurance work for you. You drop it off, or they come pick it up with a record. You don't have to worry about it anymore. They're going to stay in touch with you, let you know what's going on with your vehicle. And at the end of the day, as much as a vehicle costs, they're going to make it look as good as it did, or maybe even better than it did before. I put my name on the line for this guy because he does a great work. This is one of the things here, the aluminum beds. That, when this come out from Ford, there were so many people that didn't know how to do it. Right. Well, they can show you pictures before and after. If you feel a little uneasy about it, they'll take the time to show you work they've done before with these to show you how good it turns out. And they know what they're doing with that.
They do. They're very dependable. I mean, they get things done in a timely manner, and they work with the rental car companies.
You're right.
Know, if you need a rental car while you're, needing to get around and stuff. So
drop in and see them. Again, there at the intersection in Center Hill. This is the office there. You'll recognize it. Drop on in. They'll take care of you, get everything worked out for you. Everybody's back to work. The 4th of July week is over. They're hard at it. See them for a free quote today. Just find out how simple it is to get life back to normal with Chet's Paint and Body Shop right here in the Meridian area.
I'm calling about my accident claim.
Don't let the insurance company beat you up. I'll take the fight to them and get you everything you deserve. One call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace on this Friday. Aren't you glad it is Friday?
I am glad it's Friday.
That was pretty fun having the Meridian Star come in and talk about what they've got coming up.
It was. We've had, several guests this week.
Yeah.
It's fun to have people in and talk about things and discuss things. But that's a really good thing that they do.
Yeah.
Reader's Choice. It helps a lot of people with their businesses, recognition, and plus it gives you a boost of confidence.
It does. As we talk about things that happen, of all the protesting in America and people that don't like it, I go to some news stories that is up from Afghanistan as America exits it. Even George W. Bush has put out a statement saying that's not good to leave there. It's going to cause problems. And we have given so many American lives to stabilize that country. Headlines this morning: shaving and smoking is now outlawed in Afghanistan. The Taliban has taken over. And you want to talk about rights as you look at this next story here. They're putting this out there, and they're going to do this. Again, this is Afghanistan with the Taliban. Gay men will be crushed to death by pushing them off the wall. They will do this. If you do not align with their thoughts, they will take you out. So our thoughts go to Afghanistan because you've got already soldiers giving up immediately. Taliban has taken over.
Yeah.
Within a month, it's going to be another horde for terrorism.
And it's a horrible thing. It really, to be in our country and to have the freedoms that we have, it really makes you appreciative, when you see things like this. But it makes you have, what do you call it? Compassion for these people.
For other countries.
I just hate it. I hate that people are going through that kind of
even as I watch
tragic
protests in America that I may not agree with, it is your right to be able to protest. I may not agree with what you're whining about.
Right.
But there's a lot of guys that gave their life for you to be able to do that. And as we look at these other countries, they cannot do that. Why? If they did it, the government would take them out.
Well, that's what makes our country such a great nation, is that we can, for the most part, a lot of times, I know it doesn't seem like as much lately that you can agree to disagree, but you do have your opinion and you do have the right to give your opinion. And, not everybody's going to have your same views.
That's right.
They're not. But just to be able to voice that opinion, or to, just say your piece, it's just it's a freedom that we have, and it's taken for granted so many times.
It is. One last news story that I saw. I'm not into the MMA fighting, all that kickboxing and stuff, but one of them committed suicide this week. A 44-year-old guy named Travis Fulton. He was convicted of child pornography. He was arrested, put in jail, and he committed suicide. So he's out of the picture.
Goodness.
We want to say thank you for each and one of you coming aboard this morning, watching us, whether it was a Facebook or on, at MeTV.
He's
Thank
reminiscing.
y'all. Yeah, MTV days. Thank y'all for joining us in either way and watching us. We'll be back Monday morning. And thank y'all so much. Anything you need to say before we go?
No, I want to thank you also, and want everybody to have a blessed and safe day, and we'll see you Monday.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by